the teams that are here have been playing kind of the standard 3-3. So Alter Ego, the one out of that composition, not going to be playing that. Instead, they're going to be playing this, which they're now going to. I don't have a composition I can call this. It's quad DPS with 2 tanks, and they're running a Wrecking Ball too. So weird. Also, Nietzsche choose. Oh, T1w scouts us out, and they're going to go over to their bread and butter, dive.
Okay, that works. These are some compositions I don't think we've seen a lot from either of these teams. The Sombra Genji, very solid. And now first pick.
Oh, come on.
Onto the pharmacy. Misha is an actual fly spotter.
Yeah, but that's all they are too, right? They're just annoying nuisances in the sky. He gets rid of them pretty easily. You know, those Dragon Blades of old to do with a Pharah. BTS says no thank you. We are going to do this good old-fashioned Genji right-click dash through them and gets the kills. And all that calls for the Alter Ego to switch over their composition. 612 gonna switch to Ana here. I don't know necessarily that's the answer, but at least he's not gonna get hacked out from the Sombra and be instantly deleted.
It can be advantageous if they take the high ground. The power of having the high ground with an Ana, these anti-heals can somehow wound them. Speaking of wounding, there's an EMP from Gigi. Dropping it on the face of T1w. There's a responsive EMP, but T1w are just so low. A very interesting re-engage from them.
They know how to play they know that they're willing to take these risks though, right? The hack is so superior. Michi, of course, gets the Pharah again. And though she's resurrected, I don't think this fight is winnable now. Is he going to commit the blade? It looks like he's going to play it really safe here as J-Show goes down. Molanran again finding value.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for this. EMP when you get EMP'd, Blade when the fight is over. This is both teams having a lot of fun.
I don't think both teams are having a lot of fun. Lemon, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. One team is certainly having a lot of fun. Yes. I think Nietzsche is having a lot of fun in this lobby. He seems to be really enjoying himself, playing Genji, getting the kills, the final blows in, and now we are getting ever close to that last fight territory. And Alter Ego does not really seem to have a plan of attack, and they have to find a kill here early on and not give up one themselves.
Oh, you got to be careful for walls. Those can come.
Hey, there's a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. And now attacking with a Pharah can be a little bit difficult, but now that if they can get Giant in a position for barrage, now they have an opportunity to flip. T1w just taking their time. They want to get their full 6. They get an opportunity onto the supports, and that's a great start.
The solo barrage of the Genji. Oh, Michi has been an absolute thorn in their back line, and they finally get him down, but Molanran, meanwhile, takes down 612, so they're going to turn this back. There, the sound barrier gets stripped. Lemon, they're continuing to put the resources into this fight. T1w are.
Yeah, 99% to T1w. Finally, they'll get the flip, but that means they also have to play perfectly from here on out. And T1w, okay, we'll give you guys the flip. We've done using all of our ultimates, but the blade from Michi is really going to pop off next fight.
You'd hope so, anyway. Shishi has to play super aggressively, I think, here. The hack comes through. He's trying to farm that EMP up, right? But he's taking so much spam that he doesn't really buy much resource for himself. They do have, you know, the bow support ultimates, and they're going to have the minefield very shortly. They need to be the aggressors here. They cannot play passively, because if they do, T1w, as you mentioned, that blade could be a huge difference maker.
Tons of ultimates from Alter Ego. They find the supports. This is good. This is good. They had used the Nano. They're using Valkyrie. They dropped mines. It's still back and forth, though. T1w now. Here's the blade going after the Hammond. Tries to reflect his pile driver, but the job is already done. The kills are through. Alter Ego trying to get away with everything they can. A bit of a barrage from downtown. Doesn't convert the kills they're looking for. And Gigi with the EMP opening an opportunity for Alter Ego because they need to extend this fight as much as they can. Yeah,
no, it's done. The Alter Ego, I'm going to be the voice of negativity here. Alter Ego is absolutely done here on this particular stage. T1w, they're getting a bunch of kills. They flip the point over. If you're Alter Ego, they've got 52% on the point as their name, I guess, as their victory condition here, but T1w, they look so much stronger, and it almost looks like T1w are playing with their food. To be pretty frank about it, I think T1w, even when they let the point flip over, it almost had an air of, yeah, okay, we'll give it to you, and then we'll come back, right? There was no real, it didn't really look like they had any concern. It didn't really look like they were worried about it, and it's showing in their gameplay so far. T1w, a level of swagger we haven't really seen from them this season coming into play here against Alter Ego.
What's interesting is that Alter Ego aren't playing Oh, they're playing Gigi, yeah, but they're not playing X-Black, and I don't see Fenley. And Giant, I don't think is a face I've seen. We're going to bring Panda in after this map to get a little bit of the insight on him. But out the gates, T1w with the dive version of GOATS, Alter Ego, bringing out some DPS again.
And T1w looks back and says, okay, I guess we're going to do this. And says, you know, it's you know that pay attention, old man, and they're going to smack him down. I mean, Alter Ego are all young players, but here Pichette says, no, we're the better DPS players. We're playing GOATS because that's what's strong. But if you want to run DPS at us, we're gonna farm you, and that's what T1w. They walk back to spawn. They have a very clear response, and you know, again, the Sombra Genji play.
And J-Chow's not going to have fun playing against a Sombra. I mean, the only thing T1w are missing is a Brig, and I'm even surprised they're playing the Moira here, especially against a D.Va that can eat a lot of that healing, the healing orbs that Moira puts out. And as sleep goes through onto Silver, he's woken up. Pichette is hacked. So I think what Alter Ego need to do also is to protect their supports. You saw last round, B612 was getting dove constantly as the Ana.
I mean, what? Silver 3. He's looking for the. They're honestly hunting for final blows now. Pichette only 65% on the Dragon Blade. Absolute scrub. They need. He didn't do any Pharah kills in that last fight. Unbelievable. But no, Molan Ryan's gonna sit up here behind the play. He's got this EMP. I don't think I don't think Alter Ego even knows he's there. Okay, that's you can't style on them that hard. Molan Ryan, come on.
They pushed out 3 by themselves. What did they think was gonna happen?
I mean, the Pharah Mercy were in the air, so I guess it was 5.
Oh, okay.
But
I see. Well, there's a res.
Listen, I mean, I'm going to go for the, the resurrect stat. It's okay. Alter Ego here. Now they just, Alter Ego has to force something to happen. They've got the barrage, but even when they solo barrage to get themselves a pick, it oftentimes feels like they're just behind.
That's good. Okay, you slept the Winston. I was trying to dive you, and there's the barrage, the 2K for the fire player of Alter Ego. Here's the time to rumble. Get on this point. Get it going. T1w, though, they can stall this, especially on City Center. You can play Ring Around the Rosie for quite some time.
No, I mean, that was a really nice play from Giant. He actually hits a good direct on the Dragon Blade, and that shuts it down, but okay. One good play deserves one not so good one as the self-destruct comes in over the top. The resurrect is there, Lemon. They're kind of bringing this fight back, Alter Ego.
Yeah, that's something about this map. You can stall for so much time. There's so much cover to hide around, and Pichette is gonna have the blade. Do not want to use it maybe with low, especially with the self-destruct there. Rick's gonna get back into mech, but the healers of Alter Ego are definitely feeling some pain. B612 is getting a lot of the attention of T1w. Thankfully, May 9 can stay out of all the action by flying up to Giant.
Despite the fact that fight goes very heavily in T1w's favor, I'm okay with that because Alter Ego, we knew that they were the underdogs in this matchup by a large margin, and there we see signs of life. So that's what we want to see from this team here as they come in for a couple switches. Another good EMP.
Oh yeah, Blade and EMP. This is an ouchie if I've ever seen one. Alter Ego. They do get a back cap going. There's 3 players on the point. T1w with the 6 alive. This should be cleanup time. It did buy Alter Ego some time, and it's not a goose egg on the board. But T1w will take Oasis 2-0.
Yeah, to your name, Alter Ego, we didn't expect them to come in here and be, the winning team. That would not be fair to them. But I think here, they're going to take victories where they see them. And the fact that they don't get shut out on either control point is very good. They are going to have the 2-0 happen here. T1w are going to take the victory, but you take the small moments where you get them, and for Alter Ego, it's not being shut out on back-to-back control points.
Definitely some glimmers of hope, especially for Giant, the fire player from Alter Ego. We're going to bring in our expert analyst, Panda. What's the scoop? Who's this Giant coming out of nowhere?
Couldn't tell you. Honestly, okay. I looked into previous for open division trials, everything. Couldn't really find much, whether it's a name change or not. Just so you all are aware, in case you didn't know, especially about the Chinese region, they like to change their names a lot. I believe we had one individual change their name 3 times last season, in fact. Yeah. But it was a
certain player on the previous TSL.
Yeah, it had a certain feeling towards a certain hero in game, if I recall correctly. It's but at the end of the day, what we got to see was one composed team just taking advantage of another team that wanted to come heavily into control. You'll see here on your highlights for you all, and the swap to a full dive instead of Tracer. Now in this patch, lafon, I'm sure you know the love for Sombra is pretty high. So go for those EMPs, even if you get one good hack off. you're going to have a really good blade. In a way that it transitioned from Gardens all the way to City Center, there was no need to run a break for T1w. Brigitte brings absolutely nothing to the backline pressure. There was absolutely none coming from Alter Ego. This is where T1w looked their best even. Back in Season 2, when they started changing their momentum and their pace, is when Silver 3 started coming to life. I mean, Molaran, again on Sombra, he's just dictating the entire pace of this matchup from hacks and EMPs. He's setting up the backline on a Silver 3 platter, if you will.
Yeah, did you guys think that Alter Ego with the Ana and the Mercy was the right call?
I mean, the map score tells us that it wasn't, so I don't think it's
besides
tough to,
execution.
yeah, when you talk about Alter Ego, it's really tough to consider what is good and what's not, because it comes down to the fact that Alter Ego as a team are just not playing together. Like, you look at Michia, he's able to come in and find Bafara Mercy on that first control point of Garden, you know, with the Genji by himself. He dashes through the Pharah, then dashes through the Mercy. It doesn't even need to use the blade for it. So here, it comes down to the fact that Alter Ego, it's tough to call anything that they're running good, because we don't know if it's good. The execution level for T1w is just much higher, as expected. T1w is a team we've talked about as being possibly finalists, right, in the grand finals and getting to that point, whereas Alter Ego, you know, they've tried their hardest, but I don't think they're their caliber of team to play up to the same standards.
I think the phrase "out of your league" definitely stands out here. I mean, the T1w keeping their roster from last season, bits and pieces coming in for Alter Ego. We're going to throw it to a quick break. When we get back, map number 2 of Eichenwald will be underway. We're going into map number 2 between T1w, the past season champions, versus Alter Ego, whose ego is hurting slightly after that first control. But hey, they're looking for their first map win of the season. I believe in the dream.
I guess it falls to me to be the realist and say they're not going to get it. So yeah, T1w.
You can't predict the future. You don't have no crystal ball. T1w did lose 2 maps to LGD, and they lost a map to BTRG. So T1w, they have these very tiny cracks in their armor.
No, I agree. T1w has looked beatable this season. I think that is very true. I don't disagree at all. I think the problem is that it's not Alter Ego who's going to find them, right? Alter Ego needs to shore up their own gameplay before they can worry about dealing with anyone else. And that's part of the problem here. Alter Ego, we did find, of course, a little bit more information about Giant at the break, and that is he was picked up for he was picked up from TFV, which is
Team for
just
Victory.
watch TFV's game. Just watch Team for Victory's games, and you'll see why I haven't finished the thought there.
They're a team that enjoy victory, but don't get it a lot. It's okay.
I mean, you can enjoy something, but if you never see it, like, I enjoy having millions of dollars. It doesn't mean it's true.
I would enjoy that as well, but Alter Ego on this attack. Gonna go with the Sombra Pharah and the Hammond Diva combo, but at least they don't have to deal with T1w's Sombra because they're not running that. They're just gonna go straight goats.
Yeah, I mean, Assassin subs in here for Michia this play, so Assassin's gonna play up the Zarya, which is interesting because Michia is the Zarya committed player here for T1w. A very, very clear play as to what T1w thinks about this matchup so far. Getting Assassin some playtime here in this match. Again, the Pharah Giant is doing a ton of damage here, Lemon, but there's no commit, there's no final blows coming through, and that means you're gonna stall out of time. Hybe, though, demeched.
That's a commitment right to the spawn room, at least for him. Out of mech for the moment. Alter Ego need to engage. I mean, Giant is just having so much damage, and he's gonna have a barrage as soon as T1w come out. Do they realize this? Hybe's not gonna be in mech to actually matrix any of this. So Alter Ego going for their third take, and T1w need to contest as soon as they come out. There is the barrage, but the cap is in front of their eyes. T1w now are going to heavy stagger, but they might actually just win this fight and trap Alter Ego in their spawn.
If only someone had stayed on the point, this would actually have just been a hold. But, you know, they get knocked off the point just long enough that T1w are forced to give up percentage. And even though they get the spawn camp here, they're going to stay here at the spawn, by the way. I don't think there's any way for Alter Ego to rarely play it through. And oh, this is painful. Like, this literally comes down to the fact that T1w steps off for a second too long from the point. This would have been a full hold otherwise.
I still think Giant is a giant carry for Alter Ego. Like, got the DMEC on the high B, barrage, pressure T1w in positions they didn't want to be in. They still got the payload. There's something there. But trying to get out of spawn with a Pharah is not going to be the plan. Go Bastion, break his shield, and just kill them. At least that's my flat brain telling them to do something.
I try not to reveal what rank I am because I'm washed.
Okay.
Anyway, Assassin falls to the Assassin falls to the minefield of Jaycho. They're gonna find a couple of kills there. They have to commit the EMP to even get out of spawn here. Transcendence a little too late.
They had mines, they got the first pick, they got Som, they got EMP, they got Valkyrie, so they're breaking out, but T1w silver lining, they got a ton of ultimates out of Alter Ego, and they wasted a ton of time.
They did. I mean, there's no way to like say anything but yes, because that's exactly what happened, right? The analysis comes down to the fact that T1w just mechanically outplayed Alter Ego as Illusion walks back to spawn to just sort of chauffeur his teammates back. And Alter Ego is in this really awkward position where they have to use tons of ultimates to just even get out of their spawn room, right? And you hate to be in that position because now on the retake, T1w has all the advantage.
All the advantage, all the momentum with the cart currently is T1w trying to flank around behind them. Alter Ego, have they scouted this out? See the Diva of Rick, and you see the barrage from Giant is actually right above them. Again, he could be catching them off guard. The rally, though, could be giving them enough armor to survive. There's the Diva from Hybe giving them some pain. There's the barrage bringing more pain. And the clapback back in spawn. Giant not going to do anything there. And T1w could be holding in a spawn trap again.
I like seeing Assassin play because we can kind of get an idea of how he's going to stack up against other teams. And here against Alter Ego, we can tell he's already been low energy the entire time. Assassin has not looked fantastic so far, and it hasn't really been an effect for T1w, but we can start to judge T1w on that merit, right? This is a team that we expect very, very good things from, and so far, they've kind of just played down to Alter Ego, and it's showing in Assassin's gameplay. He's been very low energy and hasn't really found a lot of key frags on his own.
Working well as a team, though. Silver, though, is actually all by himself. Nice concussion blast, and they could actually get him. And the Transcendence from Why could not save him. Alter Ego are up by 1 using the Valkyrie, but the counter grab actually from Assassin, EMP from Gigi. So it's really back and forth between these two teams. The card is starting to get progress from Alter Ego, and they've pushed T1w into a very small area.
This is actually a problem for T1w. They're going to win out this map most likely, but this is a problem for T1w because it means that they don't have that kill switch. They don't have, you know, that foot on the gas, so to speak. And say it any way you want to. They don't have that that level of gameplay that says that we're going to go into this final gear and just choke out everyone. They're going to win this fight. There's literally no other way of saying it, but they're not doing it convincingly enough, I think, is probably the way that I would want them to.
Yeah, I don't know how Alter Ego supports just died, especially on Mercy, where it's supposed to be so hard to get at her with a fire in the sky. So T1w knowing what's important, kill off the healing, win the fight.
Yeah, it comes down to the fact that T1w just, even though they're playing so split, Alter Ego is playing just as split as they are, and they're kind of losing out as a result. And here, now, if you're T1w, I would like to see them just go for the kill. Make sure that, you know, Alter Ego doesn't even get a point anymore. That's the level of play I want to see from them. And
Giant keeps looking like he wants the barrage.
There's no real opening though. There's really no opening.
That's an opening. I'll take that. I'll take the shatter. I think Gigi did have an opportunity. He did hack Silver 3, and we didn't get to see how that engage looked like for Alter Ego. But you got to see this communication, like you said, to come in. Even focusing on 1 kill, if you can get the 1, you turn it into 2, you turn it into 3, you turn it into a fight win. We got to see that from Alter Ego.
Yeah, no, we absolutely do. And here now. Oh, there's a good concussive blast. Milan run a little too aggressive. Goes down. Yeah. Giant has now found a couple of finals. They're looking for the barrage here, but Hybe, the Matrix is in his face, so this is gonna be a tough one here. Good EMP.
Oh, their EMP. Yeah, what to prevent a Matrix or prevent the Diva from annoying you? Just take away her abilities. And that's a great combination. That's what they should be pulling off. It did take them quite some time to now get control of these fights. They're heading down the barrel of point B, and T1w will have one last engage.
Y actually uses the Transcendence there. Silver 3 is going to switch over to the Winston, which is curious because they're in the 3rd point now. I don't know. Can they even get a recontest? They're going for it. They got there. They got there.
7-3. They're going to do it. Contesting. T1w, they have the grab. Assassin throws it out, but Alter Ego using both Transcendence and Valkyrie and a self-destruct from Rick to zone off the area. Spin to win from Alter Ego. Maybe they can sneak this payload in. Hasn't been able to knock off the right people. Drops the mines. That will zone off the area even more. 0.13. There you have it. Point B for Alter Ego.
And Silver 3 is going to have to switch back to the Reinhardt anyway, I think. He's going to come in. He's going to stick on the Winston. I'll be very curious here in this closed point of this 3rd point of Viking Vault as Giant continues to pop in. J-Cho and Giant have been the 2 best players on Alter Ego, without a doubt in my mind. Both of them doing fantastic work of just being in the right place at the right time. And the Hammond play from J-Cho has been really, really strong. He's the reason they're able to keep out that 3rd point, or capture the 2nd point rather, to get into 3rd. And less than a minute remaining, Alter Ego have bought themselves another breath of life.
Absolutely. I think Jay Chow taking a lot of the attention away from Giant, the EMP, the barrage, a little higher up than he would have wanted. And it's a nice matrix from Rick to keep him alive. Now T1w are wounded and they're going to get grabbed. Actually, it's the grab from Assassin that catches some of Alter Ego. And there is a bit of a response from T1w, really favoring them, of course, because the respawns are so close. Jay Chow is going to continue this fight. If he can at least take care of Assassin, who's probably high energy, that would be a big win for Alter Ego, but they've lost their Mercy, so that's a ton of healing gone.
Yeah, no, this is gonna come down to the last second stagger out here. Alter Ego have to go for a clean reset because but they don't have the time to do it. So J-Cho's gonna have to stay alive here. If he goes down, this is curtains on this fight. He slowly stays alive as he knocks Assassin off the high ground. Okay, never mind. He knocks Assassin to the other high ground.
That was actually kind of cool. I wouldn't be able to replicate that, but Alter Ego have this last chance. It is now in overtime. B612 got stunned by a flanking Brigida, and Rick won't use the self-destruct in the middle of the EMP from Gigi, and T1w have plenty of ultimates in the bank they can stack up. You got a Kamehameha that's lasering everyone from the skies of Alter Ego, and there's just nothing left for them to keep pushing. But they got this far. Now up to the defense. Can they hold T1w at bay?
Now we're gonna hope so, because that's it's a good push, I guess, from Alter Ego. T1w definitely foot off the gas pedal at times in that first attack.
Yeah. Let's bring back our expert analyst Panda at the half. What did you think of Alter Ego so far?
I'm having a lot of fun watching this, right? Because the way that this entire composition works out, I always call it like a corral composition, the way that the far ends up playing a lot of this probably putting the most dense, pun intended, into the armor that I was talking about that have cracks into for T1w, right? Once you have a lot of frontline pressure, all of those resources start going away. Jay Chow comes in, finds those pile drivers, like LaFon was saying, doing a great job. Jay Chow is at finding this displacement, just really disrupting the entire backline of T1w, which forces their resources to go into overdrive mode. And that's where Gigi more or less flourishes, right? That's where every Sombra flourishes, is when the front line is creating so much pressure that the entire team of T1w doesn't turn around to realize that somebody's being hacked, and then they don't have the resources to turn around and peel. And it's just it's inevitable snowball. I mean, sure, the time gets exhausted like that because you're in that proverbial poke phase. That's just the nature of the composition that T1w is running with triple support. And that's what you're going to end up seeing, especially when Wyatt swapped over to Moira on last point. Just to shed a little bit of light on that silver 3 pick on sticking onto Winston, there's almost no reason to stick on Reinhardt, especially if Jay Chow will be on Reinhardt as well. The shield was always getting busted down. If you're getting hacked, then you're pretty much just, a giant old battery at that point is Reinhardt anyway. You can't shield up anything, so you're better off going for the counter dive. And you're almost able to be more mobile when that Sombra comes into your backline as well.
We'll be heading into the next round. Thank you, Panda. It will be T1w on the attack. And I think another question for me is Alter Ego not running triple support. LaFon, do you think they're at a disadvantage at these later fights?
Yeah, it's certainly a factor, right? Because you have just less healing overall, and T1w has better sustain. That's a nice sleep on Assassin. I don't know, is anyone gonna be there? No, come!
Sleep.
Oh, they tried to kill him, but it just didn't work. 612 misses his combo, and it doesn't matter at the end because he's got the peel there, and they're gonna find the final blows. But okay, Assassin still somehow finds the kill, so that's problematic here for.
I don't think this fight went the way that anyone wanted to go. The sleep is not something you call, and Alter Ego did dive T1w, who tried to go for that sleep, and it's a very messy fight. But I think, like you said, the winning condition being May 9, dying as the Mercy, that's most of your healing gone. Although now they're running B612 on an Ana instead of Zen, so that's a good swap.
Yeah, T1w Silver 3 gonna hack. Whoa! That was close. He almost jumps off the map there. 612 trying to stay alive.
You hate to miss those. Assassin, not assassinating us quick, but he is taking the attention of the supports away. The Mercy forcing to pocket the Ana instead of healing the rest of the team. So T1w getting the point.
Yeah, sometimes it's not about getting the final blows, right? If you can pull the attention of two characters away for long enough that you can break down Shishi's and J-Cho's life, then you're more than happy with that. And Alter Ego, they're running that far of a Sombra dive, but really they haven't found any real value as Molan Run has been constantly harassing, constantly causing issues, and as has Assassin on this Tracer. So T1w more than happy to buy this much time for themselves as look for Molan Run to use the translocator to set up an EMP right here on Castle.
There's the EMP. Actually, the first one comes up from Gigi. Milanron does it at the same time. The nano was given to J-Chow, and he's making it very hard for the squishy characters of T1w to make anything happen. So Alter Ego starting to hold this defense. Their health pools are a little low, and J-Chow decides to use the Primal, see if he can secure that kill. He's not getting the juggle he wants, and Milanron might actually translocate out and survive.
Yeah, he does. And now this is really problematic. Excuse me? Assassin?
Excuse you.
He misses a pulse bomb on a D.Va mech, who's right in front of him.
That's okay. It happens. It be like that sometimes, you know?
I mean, if you're, you know...
That's my explanation. I can't... No, I'm not going to get into it. T1w, you know, the payload. I think Alter Ego are at least giving putting up a stall. I'm not really a fan of EMP versus EMP, though. I've seen grab.
I mean, Milanron has his EMP, and Ashishi's only 60%. Milanron going to commit his, and that just means kills immediately coming through. T1w, they're going to continue this push into third already. And speedrun Eichenwald Part 2.
There were some minor resets in that speed run a little bit, but we are heading into the final part of Point C. The yellow box of victory, the winning condition is there in front of your eyes. It is actually maybe a green box of victory, but T1w trying to extend the space as much as they can, see if they can go for a pick.
It looks like Milanron got the hack off onto Rick, but no one can really punish it. And here Milanron against 50% to that EMP. Gigi gonna try and set up. Oh, look at Lucio hiding here. They don't know. They don't know.
They don't know, Chad. They don't know. T1w, though, they are all types of split up right now, and even Silver 3. Hey, there's a pulse bomb hit. We did it. We did it. Giant is out of the game. So is B612. A lot of healing gone for Alter Ego. They're still going to clap back with an EMP, though, because why not? And T1w equally uses their EMP, so they just nullified all that.
Man, Milanron is refusing to let Alter Ego play the game. He's legitimately just refusing to let it play the game. The Primal Rage got nullified because he's hacked out by the EMP. The Self-Destruct got nullified. The Lucio just not playing because he's hacked. T1w want to close this out right here.
It's a very nanoed monkey on the field, though. Self-Destruct from Rick at the back. This is Alter Ego in desperation.
Oh,
they step out the payload.
Oh, no.
Not the ending to the story I wanted to see. T1w up 2-0 against Alter Ego.
Okay. You know what? We all know what that was. We're not gonna say.
You close the book. You go to the bookstore. You return the book. Say, I don't like this ending. JK Rowling, change it. But speaking of which, let's bring back our expert analyst, Panda. I don't even know what to ask you. What did you think of the second half here?
Let's be honest, you're just bringing me back as a scapegoat.
You talk. I don't know what to say. You're the brains behind the operation.
If I honestly had to say anything besides just a wonderful snowball coming through on second, I like a good snowball in Eichenwald. You know, just when you think that any sort of change is going to come across because of ultimates, and like LaFon said, Milanron, he just, you know, if you're in the shoes for Alter Ego and you didn't get to play the game that round, it really do be like that sometimes. You know, having the only silence in the game and finding, I would probably say 3 at minimum during that entire attack with EMPs. I mean, that's enough to set up Silver 3 again, time and time again. I can't stress this enough how strong Silver 3's Winston has become. A considerable amount of improvement since splashing on the scene in Season 2 last season. And when you just let dive tanks just do what dive tanks do, you just end up having a proverbial snowball. I mean, I think Assassin coming in as Tracer too, you know as well as I do, LaFon, Tracer and Sombra in your backline, whether you're hitting pulse bombs or not, that's a nuisance.
Yeah, I think sometimes there's games where you just say GR, go next, and that has to be one of them. Yeah, it literally does sometimes be like that. Like, and I mean that not in a meme way, but legitimately, Alter Ego, that map just comes down to the fact that Sombra just played better by Milanron. There's no other way of saying it. You know, when you have such domination against the tanks that you're willing to EMP. So what happened was he hacked the Winston so he couldn't primal. Then he EMP'd them when he saw the hack was about to wear off. Then he hacked the D.Va again so that you couldn't tell he used a self-destruct. And at that point, you know that that's just a fight. Like, that's a fight won by a single player, right? It comes down to that. So I think for Alter Ego, it really does have to be, we're just going to move on from this match and try and bring back our mental strength in the next one, because that's sometimes all you got.
And take a look at some of these highlights too. Like those mines, Lemon. Like I was jaw dropped on the ones that were on the wall first off, but I got to give a quick highlight as it's on the screen. B612 on Zenyatta for this attack. is the biggest difference in this composition and what the difference maker was coming off of Oasis. The Zenyatta sets up this entire composition. The Discord Orb, the Wreck Rockets by Giant, you see the barrage coming from the EMP, the Transcendence to keep everybody alive. It's just a better play altogether.
I felt like the power level of T1w is just over 9,000, right? But they haven't actually needed to go Super Saiyan because they just haven't had to actually play smart. You look at the way they're using ultimates, and those are not really the scenarios you would use their ultimates on, like EMP versus EMP, you know, Transcendences when they've won the fight, self-destructs just kind of for fun. I think Lafon said it perfectly. They're playing with their food.
Yeah, it's all fireworks at this point, you know. And sometimes you just like to see some particle effects on the screen, just for funsies.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going into a break. T1w are leading the series, but when we get back, we'll be Volskaya. We'll see if Alter Ego can stay alive. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to map 3 between T1w and Alter Ego. We got our analysts, we got our big brains here, and we get a bit of a substitution. I think Assassin and Michia and Kaze and Rick are swapping out.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting, actually, because
Lafon?
yeah,
I apologize.
No, it's fine. I was gonna say that's really interesting because Michia was actually in the first match where we saw, or first map on Oasis where we saw a ton of Genji. And then Assassin comes in the second one. Here, this is the first time Alter Ego is bringing a sub, so I'm curious to see how this changes their angle of approach.
I think bringing in Kaz mostly means
Kaze,
sorry. Yeah, I think what it mostly comes down to being another DPS player. I mean, maybe you'll see some Rien Zarya to play around with Giant Sfara, perhaps. Definitely no Brigitte coming in. I didn't see X-Black being subbed in at all, and we were joking about this. I genuinely think that Giant is allergic to the hero. I don't think that they're gonna end up playing that composition. But if we see anything, especially heading into Assault, you all know it's very popular, especially as of late, is that solo tank hamster with quad DPS, and I think that's what we'll probably end up seeing coming out of Alter Ego with this.
I think this is where I step in and say I'm not happy with the composition that Alter Ego is running.
Oh, I'm agreeing.
The reason why I know you're not disagreeing with it, but the reason why I disagree with the play is that for some reason China as a whole has moved on from the whole let's just play whatever we want to let's play what's actually strong, and a couple of teams have forgotten that, and they're just kind of doing what they want, and it's kind of bringing the region down as a whole, in my opinion.
Shades of Moss 7 Club.
Moss 7 Club was actually good.
Okay. Well, let's get into game. Thanks, Panda. I mean, not much insight we can say. T1w are in second place, actually. I thought they were in first, but they're actually 2-0, 6-3. I think it was a BLG who's currently... Yeah, that is a thing. And BLG are at the top of the group. Alter Ego in last place. They're looking for their map win, and at this point, they're maybe not a playoff team, but I think they want to have a strong showing to maybe switch up the roster for the next season.
One of these days, I'll introduce you to hyperbole, so we can get rid of the understatements that are coming from the ones that you're saying out here, because Alter Ego, yes, they're not a playoff team. That is definitely a way to put it. Coming in here,
I'm the positive one. I'm trying to good cop, bad cop this with you.
Is it working? I'm not sure. But
it's a good contrast.
Yeah, okay, T1w. Okay, no, yes. bad T1w.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes. I'm ready. Let's get it. This is what we're waiting for. This is now showing you what ranked looks like currently. You have
this is disrespect.
Mercy.
This is straight up.
This is me as Mercy that doesn't play Mercy, trying to deal with what is this composition.
I mean, J-Cho jumped off the map, so it doesn't matter.
That's actually difficult because there's not a lot of places to do that on the map.
I mean, there's the whole right side from the defensive perspective that you can jump off.
I know,
of, so.
but it's you don't want to go there.
Oh, okay. I think the most interesting part.
Seasons ago to flank from there.
Silver 3 fed. That's the first time I've said that this match. Okay. Whoa. Hello.
Okay. Now this is Giant, who now can't carry anymore because he has 3 DPS in his face and a Bastion. Don't play far into this.
I mean, it's kind of working, I guess. I have no words. This is just a brawl on foot. T1w are gonna lose this fight.
I mean, Giant, I
Probably.
think he's going for like a raid boss level of Pharah play to go against a Bastion. Okay, now he has a Tracer that's a little bit easier, but he still has Michia on the Ashe. That is just not a fun time. Oh, and I forgot about the Soldier of Waya, by the way. So Giant has a lot of confidence in his Pharah, and now you got the Whistle of Death coming in.
Do you?
Yeah.
I guess the Whistle of Death signified
Ish.
Hybe's death. Yeah, you didn't say which.
The
You
short
didn't
one.
say whose death it was. So that
His own
is
death,
fair.
maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, Alter Ego did get the point, eventually swapping their composition,
Oh.
and they actually kept their ultimates. They have an EMP from Kaze. This is the new substitute coming in, and she's 26. Okay, girl, go off. This is what I want to see.
Giant kills himself with his own barrage on the mech of Hybe, but does it matter? Do they have the final blows coming in too? They're gonna get a tick? Are they gonna get two?
Yes, they got one. Make
Two?
it. Oh,
No, they're
Come
not
on.
gonna get two. They're not
Come
gonna
on,
get two.
Silver. Let them do it. Two?
Two?
Oh, two?
Yes, two.
There.
Oh,
Gigi? Three?
it's there? Is
Get
it there?
four? Gigi? Okay.
Up there. I mean,
Okay, he's
they're
actually
slowly.
popping
Yeah,
off, though.
they're slowly. Yeah, they're slowly. Can we get the spectator?
Oh
we
my
popped off.
god, just
Another
no
headshot.
one switch the camera. I only want to see this. This is amazing. Illusion, how do you even boot two supports off? You
Okay.
can fly. The one of them can fly.
So that was.
Sorry.
Sometimes Overwatch is like that, you know.
Okay, it just be like that sometimes.
Oh.
But Alter Ego, seriously, they got 2 ticks. This is real
Yeah.
life.
By the way, the analysis for that is Alter Ego shoot good, sometime not that long, so they no full cap. There we go. I got the analysis
Full
through
cap.
Lemon. Has now
We're
Whoa,
getting
Alter
through
Ego
this.
with goats.
Goats? No, I want a GG cam. Stop! Go back to the Widow. Okay, EMP now from T1w, Alter Ego, bit of a stuck in a pickle. Actually, only Gigi gets hacked through all of that somehow. But Alter Ego, back and forth, they did lose now. There's Zarya and their Brig. Jay Chow is hacked. That's not going to be the fight for Alter Ego.
I'm still laughing about 2 fights ago, by the way. Oh,
I
man.
don't know. Like I said, I don't know how people are falling off this map. It's very
Very creatively, I
there
think.
should be an achievement for that.
Yeah, no, it's an achievement for sure. 612 has actually been a bit of an actual highlight reel here on the Zen.
Oh,
across this.
B612. It's like a vitamin. He's good for the team.
True.
True, actually true. He's a highlight for the team, as also Panda said during his half. And now Alter Ego going to come in. They actually get a stun onto Hybe, but he's gonna have to self-destruct. They have to be careful. Silver 3 catching the Brig off, and this is not again another fight.
Something I want to highlight about Hybe that he actually does really, really well is he does not use his boosters before the shield bash. Right? Oftentimes what Brigittes will do is they'll wait till the D.Va starts to fly, then use the shield bash, because that gets the maximum value, right? Now the D.Va's stuck inside your team and no escape, because the shield bash cancels the thrusters. No idea how that works in real life, but, you know, we'll take it. And then what Hybe does, he actually waits for the shield bash to come through, and then he actually uses the boosters. So he gets out alive and takes away a large cooldown from Alter Ego. So a really smart play there by the D.Va player for T1w.
Okay, Alter Ego will be, at least they're trying to work towards that combo of the grab self-destruct. They thankfully want to hold on to their support ultimates that they're going to have for the grab coming up from Michia, because they also have the combos. So this fight will heavily favor T1w.
I think if you're Alter Ego, you want to go for full chaos, because T1w has kind of been playing into it, and in a 3-3 matchup, you're going to lose, because that's what happens.
Nice. Nice try. Oh, he ate it! Hybe and GG's grab! Punked it! That's amazing! Alter Ego are down. They're out of grab. But they did get 2 ticks.
Would you say, well, I mean, they got 2 ticks with a crazy composition. Would you say that it's Crab, Hybe, 8, Crab?
I think that was English. I'm pretty sure that was.
Listen, I can also speak in memes.
Okay, I'm not sure about that. But Alter Ego, though, they don't have the combo, but they have a self-destruct and a mean barrier coming up from May 9. But T1w already worked up to themselves to grab self-destruct.
It's going to be really
looking
interesting
for it.
here. Yeah, I think there is an opportunity here now for the defense, or for the offense rather, to actually do something. But the Graviton Surge comes in for Michia, and this should be an easy cleanup now for T1w.
Don't break the shield! Oh, what a pin that just fly that Reinhardt right into the air. Make that a perfect play for Hybe. That's 2 ultimates out of the way for T1w. Another 4 to go.
Yeah, the 1 minute 30 is coming off the clock here. T1w The thing about T1w that's been so strong this series, not season, has been that they are good at the ultimate economy. This has been something that they've struggled with early on in the season, especially in their first 2 matches. I think that's what kind of cost them that, forced them to have a 3-2 in their first match of the season. So the fact that they've cleaned up this much, albeit against Alter Ego, is a good sight, and I expect them to do well going through the remainder of their matches to continue this level of gameplay, at least in the 3-3 style.
Silver 3's coming back. He's actually looking for the shatter. J-Chow actually just goes past him, and that's a free shatter for Silver 3, cleaning up the back line, especially killing Gigi, who was close to grab, and you deal with J-Chow. J-Chow has to be a lot more aware. He can't play the Reinhardt like he plays a Hammond. He actually needs to ult track Silver very well.
It's gonna come down to, yeah, T1w now are in the last fight here, 30 seconds remaining, and they still have their win conditions established, right? They still have the Graviton Surge, they still have both support ultimates. This is now, Alter Ego is gonna have to play for broke because they've got the Graviton coming online, but they somehow have to force out T1w off this high ground. They're running into a very awkward position because T1w controls the entryway, and there's no real way for Alter Ego to force them off of it. So I would like to see the Graviton comes in. It's pretty good, but we'll see if they can find the final blows.
It's actually grab to grab. Amichia's so high energy. Self-destruct from Kaze and equally from Hy-Vee. Through all of that, there is only 1 kill for Alter Ego. Couple seconds left. Alter Ego need to touch, but they're already down there. Zarya and now their main shield. A lot of their source of DPS are gone. There's just absolutely no way they're going to win this fight. T1w though, we said there's cracks in the armor, right? They gave up point A and 2 ticks of point B. I don't think that's something a normal T1w would have done.
I agree with that. I fully agree with that. That comes down to the fact that T1w, we've been kind of playing it down a little bit, but ultimately what it comes down to is the expectation for T1w is very, very high, to bring it serious for a second, right? T1w, the expectation is grand finals. This is not a team that we're expecting to sort of lose maps or to struggle going into the later part of the season. The reason why we're being so hard on T1w here is legitimately because this is not the T1w from last season. This is not the T1w that took all of China by storm. This is not the T1w that made LFZ look weak at times. This is a T1w that is going to struggle against Bilibili Gaming, for example. This is a T1w that when you get to that semifinal matchup, most likely they're going to have problems against whatever team they look at. Here is where we need to see T1w be the best version of themselves, because otherwise the expectation no longer becomes grand finals and they might fall out. And here now, with the addition of the championships later on down the stage, later on down the season, where you have the top players go, or the top teams go through, you want your best players to go through, and T1w I don't think right now are at that level.
I think T1w are still a playoff team, and there's still tons of weeks for them to climb back in the standings. And just because second place doesn't mean last place, you're still in playoffs. And I think you are absolutely right that this season is a lot more competitive with the entry of academy teams, especially because you're having a lot more resources in the coaching staff and overall the well-being of the players that can enhance obviously their skill. And I feel like teams like Alter Ego and other teams, maybe even BTRG, that don't have as much of those resources might have that disadvantage. And there's just not going to be a pass in playoffs for teams that are just not good enough.
Yeah, and it's tough. It's tough in a match like this because this is a sleeper match. Like it is what it is, right? You have to call it out for what can happen. But T1w, I think right now has been. We're seeing moments of them being a young team when they don't have that excuse anymore, right? Though the players are young, they've been in contenders for several seasons. They don't have the excuse of being fresh, and that's why I'm being harder on them, in all honesty.
J-Chow is already dead here for the defense of Alter Ego. T1w step on it, and they'll take it just as fast as this map started.
And this is what I expected from T1w. This right here, where they're very clinical, very clean, that's the expectation. So T1w at least seems to have heard me through the ether and kind of cleaned up their gameplay a ton. I really do like, one thing I have liked from T1w though this set is that when they see, Alter Ego open up with a less standard composition, are more than willing to switch to counter it. And this could be a very good start for them. Mullen run, building up to that EMP. This could be an early fight win now for point 2. Again, they only need that 2 and some odd ticks to get through, to capture the full map and win out the set. So expect this EMP to be that win condition.
Oh, Michia got a little too aggressive. He's already out of the game, and T1w don't want to engage, especially with that EMP without their star player Michia.
Yeah, this is a reset. This is what Assault sometimes comes down to. It'd be funny if Molan Ran went for a back cap. They're going for the play here, by the way.
Okay, the EMP actually from both sides, both Gigi and Melanron, but it's actually Alter Ego that take control of this, and they use the DPS of the Moira Coalescence to well, melt them away.
That is actually very impressive from Alter Ego. What did they use? They used EMP and they used Coalescence. They didn't actually use a whole lot. Not that they had a whole lot online, but it's a very good hold. And I think T1w now, Melanron are going to switch off to the Brigitte here, switching away from the Sombra. So this is going to be a really interesting look. T1w continue to run that Genji, looking to build that Blade, and as they set up here. And now we have to start to wonder, is T1w going to execute their win condition cleanly? Because while I think they are going to get there, it's going to be in how much time is going to be on the clock when they do so.
Yeah, it'll still be a win despite how long it takes them, because 5.5 minutes, that's many rounds of ultimates. Speaking of which, Giants in a very small room with the barrage, at least has Kaze by his side to matrix any damage that were to be coming in. So 2 fights in a row, T1w almost walked away with the tick.
T1w uses the Primal Rage there from Silver 3 and then otherwise nothing else. So you know that that's going to be a reset here. T1w, they're willing to take that loss in terms of ult economy to get back in. And hey, Alter Ego, may I introduce you to the Swedish engineer. Brigitte comes into play here. This is probably the first time we've seen this match Alter Ego do so, and it is most likely to shut down Michia on this high ground, as well as Silver 3. The Brigitte can zone out the Winston quite aggressively.
Yeah. I've been waiting for this brig.
Yeah.
Like, how long was it going to take for this brig to come out to shut down Michia? You're going to need it, especially against this Blade coming out. The B612 needs to stay alive and well. Instantly Transcendence against the Blade coming in from Michia, who's still chasing after the Diva from Kaze. Didn't want him to get back into mech. Now Barrier to sustain for Alter Ego. They know if they lose this fight, T1w will take the map, and that will be the end of their series dreams. T1w pulling away with kills. They got a Barrier, and they got a leftover rally on top of that. It's really up to how long Alter Ego can stall this out.
Yeah, Alter Ego have lost this map now. She's going to switch to the Widowmaker, hoping for a last-ditch pick, but it's not going to happen. There's just too much HP coming through. T1w are going to win out Volskaya, are going to win out our series as the Doomfist stall comes through. It is too little too late, though, Lemon. Shishi goes down, and that will be it. Alter Ego, they lose our match and go down 0-3. Again, no map yet this season. They're still hunting for that first map victory. T1w set themselves up yet again for a victory.
Yeah. I think we even said since last season as well, Panda, we're going to bring you back, our expert analyst. I think there was a lot of bright moments for Alter Ego here.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's mostly housed around just their very explosive composition. I mean, if you can, I can't stress this enough too, and that's just what the entire disruption composition, the Kara composition, whatever helps you sleep at night to call this very interesting composition that you're seeing being played out all the way up to Overwatch League around a very aggressive dive tank, whether it's going to be Hammond or Winston coming from J Chow. What you're seeing is the ability to not only, I suppose, corral enemies, but to find follow-up on it as well. And that comes through very high teamwork and explosive teamwork at that too. I mean, you have to think about it too. If the concussive blast misses from Giants Pharah and you can't follow up on that hack, it's a very small margin that you have.
Yeah. And
all things considering too, I think that I got to resurface my secondary point for Alter Ego. I think B612 is the cornerstone for this team. Definitely a big recognition altogether for Alter Ego. They almost got away with that second fight win. I saw the hidden message behind going Brigitte for Giant that shield bash could have shut down the Blade if B612 didn't complete the charge for the Transcendence. But yeah, take a look at some of these highlights. I mean, Gigi almost was able to walk away with it too. And this is something that we highlighted about this player starting at the beginning of the season. Gigi has a very interesting hero pool, very explosive hero pool at that, in between Widowmaker, Zarya, and Sombra too. And we got to see some of that flexibility today. Definitely enabled by the rest of his team. Again, very aggressive. I know, just as you, same as you, LaFon. Pretty impressed to see that 3-3 comp come out.
I think they would have had more success on Gigi's Widow. What do you think, LaFon?
Yeah, sure. He looked better on Widowmaker. I wouldn't say he had one bright moment. I think it's probably the fairest way of saying that. I'm a little bit bearish about this because I think ultimately it comes down to T1w not playing to their strength. It comes down, like, you know, Shishi, though he hit those shots, T1w, if you look at that last fight, he's just in complete disarray. Like, T1w, they don't ever sit up as a 6-man unit, and so they just get taken apart by a Widowmaker who can hit shots. So, yeah, Shishi popped off when, you know, he had the opportunity to, but the fact that T1w allows it to happen is where my concerns lie. Yep.
Well, now the question is, can T1w allow Alter Ego to even take a map? Rialto will be coming up next. The series is the T1w. Can Alter Ego get their first map in Contenders for 2 seasons? We'll be right back. Final map between T1w and Alter Ego, who are looking for their first map win in Contenders. And this could be, you know, where maybe T1w kind of take their socks off, I guess, and relax a bit, and maybe that them relaxing and having too much fun might give Alter Ego an edge here.
I could also walk outside and see, I don't know, 30 degrees Celsius. For the record, I live in northern Canada, where it is
Everyone's
cold
like, what
still.
is that?
Hey, okay, hang on, most of the world uses Celsius. Hello?
Yeah, I guess.
Anyway.
Yeah, I am from Canada. I'm just trying to know.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to walk into here. T1w, they're going to continue with the 3-3. They're setting up on the defense, of course. Alter Ego, not the 3-3. This is going to be the 2-2. It's a 2-2-2, but with a Wrecking Ball instead of a Winston. So, interesting look already from Alter Ego. They've opened up with this on Volskaya, and it was to some effect. So, you know, if it works before, may as well try and continue it, you know?
Yeah, I think this was a very good look, especially Gigi on the Widow. I think he popped off on Volskaya. I don't think he got enough credit for how much he carried in that particular instance. He did
At
get
me
his
next time, dude.
Yeah, I think he deserves more credit, and this could be a really good start for them. If they get their Widow in the right position, they're getting the right picks, and without his shield, that's just field day for the rest.
Yeah, I don't understand how Giant comes in and kills Silver 3. It feels like T1w just weren't really paying attention to their proper rotation, and they just take a ton of spam. And all credit, of course, to Alter Ego's player of Giant and Shishi. That's a nice shot, actually. That is a really nice shot. The grapple shot off the top to get Waya. But I mean, to the counter of that, T1w seems that they just forgot how to rotate against DPS comp. And now we see Silver 3 going to switch off the Reinhardt. You're not going to get nearly as much value. There's going to switch to Winston here. And Shishi has that infra so you have to play very passively to try and avoid, you know, the lines of sight on the Widowmaker. And already, you know, the cart. Wait, the cart! The cart, please move the cart forward, Alter Ego.
Okay, they're doing it. But they're also going to the Winston to potentially dive Gigi. They know he's the most annoying one. He's the carry factor. You're not having the Winston for the Pharah. You're going after the Widow. It also avoids the, because you can avoid the damage from the backline too, right? So that's kind of why Winston is just better against DPS comps. But you can also chase the Pharah Mercy if they get a little too cocky as Giant and May9 did here. Reset coming through now for Alter Ego as Shishi's trying to find that last second pickoff. One thing, so to build on the Winston point, here's the thing. If you are running a ton of flankers, Reinhardt has to do two things. He has to keep his shield up to sort of protect his team, or rotate his shield to protect his back, but he can't do both. Whereas Winston, he has the mobility, he's able to get in and out and find some value. And that's just a really good scout. It's a really good scout, and then Molan Run falls off the map. Consistently Silver, who's going after Gigi. Every time he places a bubble, it's to cut off the line of sight of Gigi, make it so he is useless to the team. And all they have to do is send Hybe after Giant.
Yeah, no, it's a really well play. It's a really smart play. That's a good self-destruct as well from Hybe. Meanwhile, Waya going down. B612 has actually been a real revelation here on Zen so far this match, Lennon.
Absolutely. Alter Ego are still trying to get on this cart, and you're down to the last minute of the game, and there's an EMP that takes off the wings of this fly, who's been a pain in their butt. And Alter Ego only without Giant, it's not a resable spot, but they can at least wait for him to get back, and they'll have one last good fight.
The issue here is now we're in last fight territory, and T1w have impact ultimates, right? They've got the Primal Rage, they've got the Sound Barrier, and they're gonna have the Transcendence. Here, it looks like Michette gonna switch. Hello! Here's a character we haven't seen for Michette in a while, and this is a character he was known for last season. Known as one of the best Doomfists in the world. Not just in China, in the world. He was in the same level of Sparkle and, Danid in EU, so it's gonna be exciting to see if he can continue to get some Doomfist play out here.
There's some barrage going on from Giant. You're not seeing anything in the kill feed, and now he got Silver 3 primaling. Oh, he doesn't have sleep available, it seems.
Michia kills a Pharah?
And also Michia is popping off on the other side of the kill feed, so
dude,
mercy.
He's styling on them. Hello? This is okay. Michia, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with China, Michia was Micha is one of those players which we talked about to great lengths because he straight up carried matches with his Doomfist last season in season 3, and did a fantastic job. So to see him back on his sort of his signature hero is really, really nice. I like seeing Micha play. To put it in perspective,
and we can just like uppercut in the air.
Yeah.
And just deal with the Pharah that way.
Yeah. No, Micha. So yeah, I was saying this earlier, just now, but he was legitimately considered amongst analysts here in China to be of the level of Sparkle. And those of you who watched Korean Contenders last season, we all know how good Sparkle was. He won matches by himself with Doomfist. Micha was with the same level. You know, he landed, of course, on the British Hurricane 2, playing the same level of Doomfist. So to see like maybe considered a top 3 Doomfist in the world, that's very high praise.
Right.
So that's why I was sort of fanning out about that one, because it's fun to see.
Absolutely. And the Silver 3, though, I think that was the right swap to the Winston. I think it absolutely shut down GG, not in terms of him dying, but him taking away the value of the Widowmaker. And you saw even once they dealt with the Widowmaker, then they started going after the Pharah of Giant. They either EMP'd him so he wouldn't be able to fly anymore, or they just sent Micha, as he said, on the Doomfist after him. So it felt very fun for T1w to hold that defense. Alter Ego not able to get point A, so this is going to be a tough ask for Alter Ego to just have that good of a defense against T1w.
Yeah. By the way, Micha, that call to go to Doomfist, I'm pretty sure, like from the way the map was set up, I'm pretty sure that he saw, okay, I'm 50% Graviton Surge, we have better ult economy, we have better map positioning, there's not much time left. I'm guessing that he said to his team, please let me play Doomfist, walks back to spawn, his team says, okay, switches over to the Doomfist, and they go for it. So my expectation is that, you know, he wasn't, that was not a planned switch in my mind. This,
Alter
however,
Ego on this defense now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm liking GG on the Widow. Big fan, by the way. And now they have the halt and hook of Kaze and J-Chow, and Giant's still on the Pharah.
Yeah, and they see that and just switch Pharah. They switch to dive. That is, of course, T1w.
Nice.
Did they get the DMAC? Yeah, they do.
Oh,
so
okay.
Hybe does get DMAC. That's good. Hybe's gonna read. Ooh,
Okay.
Hello.
I like these headshots. He's definitely feeling himself on this Widowmaker.
Okay,
Finish
Silver
off.
3.
Do it.
Yes. He SMG'd him down. Doesn't count.
Okay, true. Silver 3 did go for the flashy move of turning his head around to try and not get headshot, but he was already super low. Curious engage, but now T1w making some... Well, they still have the Sombra Genji, so now they have to figure out who are they going to shut down, because they might get halted, they might get hooked, they might get stunned by the break. It's going to be tough to dive.
B612 is sort of like just forcing Molanran away from where he wants to be, so interesting here. Molanran gets stunned. Does he get killed? Ooh, super close. No, he gets out. Okay, sorry. I was wondering if that was going to come in. We didn't get to see it on screen, but it would have been really interesting to see if that had gone through. Now, Man's gonna try and build this Valkyrie up. They're again building close to, you know, ultimates here. T1w. Their win condition is the EMP here. It really, really is, and Molanran very, very close to it.
And this is only one fight for Alter Ego to lose, and they will drop 4-0 to T1w, and it's picks going back and forth, but the spawns are so much closer for T1w, who have to deal with J-Chow in the back, who's going to hook your diva, get her out of mech. Self-destruct isn't really what he wanted to deal with, but he cornered the Ana, taking away a lot of the healing that T1w had.
Ooh, J-Chow doesn't get the kill, though. He gets the one taken down because, you know, the Sombra, the Genji are all there, and, of course, just brilliant play in general. So Wyatt actually committed the nano boost. We didn't get the chance to see on who, but, you know, now there's no nano blade, but you could do the EMP blade here, and it looks like that is, in fact, what T1w are going for.
Less than 2 minutes left. Bongo started. EMP is in. So is the blade from Micha, who's going for more blood. He's 21 HP. There you go. He is out. Barrage from downtown from Giant. He is going to get dove from Hybe. Not going to survive long, but Alter Ego are doing it, Lafon.
This is actually, so we were, you know, this is something that's pretty exciting because this is good play from Alter Ego. They kite out the EMP. They actually don't get hit. That many people get hit by it. Shishi gets the headshot off onto the Sombra, and then the Dragon Blade has no support. And then of course Giant with a good south barrage. Alter Ego, good ultimate rotations, and I'm super happy to see that they've bought themselves a last fight territory here.
Look at, if he gets this pig, that could be big. Oh, just a body shot, not enough.
No, but J-Cho gets a kill. Micha's down.
Big. Big, big, big. This is big. And GG, if he gets a pick here, that is big for Alter Ego. They also have the whole hog that can just zone everyone off. You thankfully want to have Hybe out of mech for that, or low on Matrix. But down to the last minute, what a hook onto Hybe. The sleep answer. J-Chow is sleeping on the job. T1w rotating around. He's going to give the nano to Silver 3, who has the primal, but he's getting zoned away from the whole hog.
Michia goes down. Alter Ego are starting to buy themselves kills. This is winnable. This is absolutely winnable. Shishi again. Oh my goodness, you do not expect the Winston to go down to the Widow in close quarters. Very well done. They're gonna kill Molan here as well. Does he translocate out? Yeah, but they know where he is. He's dead.
Oh no.
20 seconds remaining.
T1w, if they drop a map to Alter Ego, I think we're gonna have some words with some analysts who are just gonna wake up to this news and not believe me whatsoever until they see this. Last 10 seconds, T1w only have a primal self-destruct close to an EMP. They almost got halted off of the corridor. Now T1w setting up their attack on the payload. The yellow box of victory is right at the end of point A. All they have to do is win a fight. They need to kill Gigi. They need to kill Giant. They have ultimates.
Oh!
Hybe pops off. That's exactly what is going to win you the map on top of the EMP from Molan round that set it up. It got a little too close for comfort for me. It's not over yet.
It's not over, but it's over. It's not over, but it's over.
No.
Oh.
To be fair though, Alter Ego held that for that long against T1w. If it wasn't for Hybe self-destruct with the EMP, Alter Ego could have won that. Jaw is dropped. It is dislocated and on the floor.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I wanted Alter Ego to take that one.
You always cheer for the underdog, but that's still a solid play from T1w.
No.
We gotta bring back Panda. I mean, Panda, are you as excited as we are about this?
Forget the underdog story. That was just like my heart was bumping for Alter Ego right there. I was feeling those headshots. I was feeling even the body shots. Gigi getting that pop off, that send off there at the end. That was just really good play. I respect the pull port combo coming out there too. I was not fully expecting Kaze coming out there on the Orisa.
It's interesting too that the off tank plays the Orisa and not the main tank, right?
Yeah, and J-Chow was the Roadhog, but you saw those hooks, you saw that accuracy. It was quite literally dictating the pace of the match. I mean, even
he was when they couldn't too.
Exactly. Like even when they couldn't fully shut down ultimates single-handedly, even the one play that stuck out to me the most was the nano boost onto the Winston, and then the immediate zone from the whole hog. It was immediate, like frame one accuracy there coming out from J-Chow, and that's the kind of play that you want to see coming out from Alter Ego. And taking it to T1w in that way, you almost have to think that if they can do it against a team like this in weeks to come, what else can we expect?
I mean,
I'm excited now. I am. I'm excited. I'm gonna hop on the Alter Ego hype train. I expect them to get a map victory, if not maybe even a series victory this season.
Yep.
But guys, we were almost here for Alter Ego's first map win in 2 seasons. I think they can do it this season. Look at these highlights. Giant is an actual carry. I want to see more of this guy.
Yeah, no, he comes from TFB of all places, and kind of performs well, really well.
Man.
It's the DPS farm team. I mean, of course, you're going to have at least a half-decent DPS if you have half-decent coordination. And I think we're starting to see that come together.
Yeah, I think altogether for Alter Ego, I mean, the more that they mix around with these with their roster, the more that they figure out their pieces. I mean, we've seen even teams all the way up to the Overwatch League have struggles with working out to their roster. Even Team CC in the same region as Alter Ego can take a page in understanding on how to flex around with such a high caliber roster.
Yeah.
Well, that will be it for our second match, but we got more Overwatch. Hope you guys are here. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. T1w just took the 4-0 over Alter Ego to put them now 3-0, and we'll have to see the standings later on, but we got one more match coming up. It will be Flag Gaming versus LGE. We'll see you guys after the break.